Hello everybody, welcome back to my Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 series. This video I'm going to be going over how to create a VFR flight plan in a program called Little Navmap. First of all, I'll show you if I have a window here, download Little Navmap, you'd go to search Little Navmap, click on this top link here. And then you want to go to releases and downloads and click this direct download at the top. It gives you the latest version of Little Navmap. Follow the install instructions and then it will install it onto the computer. You first open it up, you'll be shown this screen. It'll be a little bit cluttered at the moment, so the first thing I recommend you do is just close all these additional windows for now. You have a basic map window. I'm going to scroll into where we want to create a flight plan, so let's go for somewhere in the United States. See, when we get down to this level here, it's still very, very cluttered on the display, so what I will do is just control and minus twice, reduce the detail, and then these top buttons are all your kind of overlays, so I'm going to turn off some of these overlays that we don't need. So we don't need the waypoints, we don't need precision landing kind of modules. Now we don't need any of the airspaces, and I'm going to turn off this weather for certain airports. There we go, so that's looking a little bit better. Just scroll wheel to zoom in and out. So I'm going to pick two airports that we're going to fly. Go from this one here. You see, as I select it, it gives me all the kind of details for it. Again, I want to close that window, I can. Select this one. Go for this one. So to start the flight plan, I'm going to right click on where we want to depart from, and I'm going to hit that set airport, and the airport we've right clicked on, departure. I'm going to find an airport we maybe want to fly to. Let's go to over here. One. Go for this one. Right click that and set as destination. See, it's created a straight line from one airport to the other. Next thing I want to do, just kind of like the flight planner, Microsoft Flight Planner, is create a route with visual kind of waypoints. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to click this globe icon here, and I'm going to change to the US VFR sectional charts, which will change our map view. As you can see, looks a bit daunting, this map view at first, but a lot of the stuff you just kind of get used to knowing what they're showing. It's got kind of wind farms on here, it's got elevations of certain peaks. What I'm going to do, this is a built up area here, so what I'll do, click on the straight line, so the mouse cursor changes, click it once and drag that to where we want our first waypoint. I'll drag that down there. Let's put waypoint 1 over this kind of built up area here. As you can see, it shows our leg distance for this leg and our magnetic heading. If it's not showing your magnetic heading, hit tools and options. We're going to go map labels here and drop down our flight plan. Make sure that magnetic course and distance is selected, so that will show it on the flight plan. Flying OK. Next, I can see there's a big VOR station here. So I will click and drag this down to the center of the VOR, and it will add that VOR to our as a waypoint. You can see here we've kind of got from our departure to our first waypoint to the VOR and up. So this is 12, so I'm fine with this leg. These two legs could be a little bit shorter, so what I might do here is go down to maybe some what looks like obvious visual reference points. I'm going to go for this bend in this river here. Buttons them legs, and I'll go for this bend in this river down here. There we go. So they shorten them legs a little bit, so we're not flying for as much. The beauty of Little Navmap is it rolls the Microsoft Flight Planner and Sky Vector into one. As you can see over here, it is giving us a flight plan, I've reordered this, but these will be changed. These the order that these are in. What I've actually got now is distance, what heading we need to be flying, and the next will be the leg time. The leg time to work, you need to load an aircraft in. So I'll show you how to do that now. So the first thing you want to do is, again, go on Google in a new window, and I'll search Little Navmap. I'll go 7.2. There we go. To flightsim.to. I'm going to download that. So that's downloaded. You can see it's in a zip file. What I've done in my documents, I've made a little navmap folder. And here, and you can see I've already got some performance, so I'll make another folder in this called performance. New folder, and put all my 172 performances in there. And I will just drag these into that folder. There you go. Then we'll go back to Little Navmap, and I'll click Aircraft, Open Aircraft Performance. One that I want, I'll say this one here. And it is in kind of flight performance. This could be due to a cruise altitude. What I'll do is now I'm going to show you how to determine your cruise altitude. So you want to open up the window here that's in the mountains. And we'll open up this view. At the moment we've got 1,000 feet as our cruise altitude, which isn't ideal for this because anything green is terrain. We want to find our tallest bit of terrain, which is here. It shows it in bold, 2,470 feet. We know we need to fly 1,000 foot above that, so we need to be at least 3,470. We're flying left to right, so we know we can be an odd number and add 500, so 3,500 is fine. See, it's recommending 3,500. If it was kind of above that, we'd have to go up to the next odd number, so 5,500. 3,500 is put in. There you go. Once we've got an actual cruising altitude, it gives us our leg times here. Like I said, a Little Navmap creates like a navlog in the program, so you only have to use one program. So now I can go into my flight plan remarks. I can start putting in my remarks to my waypoint. So waypoint 1 and in. I know I'm looking up for that. Waypoint 2 is going to be built up area. Waypoint 3 is another bend in the river. Again, these are just personal notes for my waypoints. And then waypoint 4 is the VOR, so is EFV VOR frequency 11000. Also then put maybe the radial I'm coming in at. Radials come out, so it's actually an inbound leg of 71 degrees. If I wanted to work out the radial, I'd basically add 180 on that, and that gives us the radial that we can tune the VOR measuring equipment. 1 degrees. And then it's to the airport. So I know that at that point I am actually going on the 69 radial away from the VOR. 5. VOR. Again, the frequency, and it's stated above. That is going to be the 69 radial. 3 radial. So I know that if I fly that radial out, I should get to the airport. There we go. So I'll go back to the flight plan. So I've done my altitude, got my nav log, flight plan results. Little Navmap, if you put the performance in, even gives you a fuel report. So you can see we need 61 pounds 10 gallons of fuel. As for block fuel, that's the total amount we need. And there we go. We've got a basic flight plan using one program, so we're not having to transfer it across from one to the other. Let's see what we can do if we want to quickly add a little bit more points to our kind of flight plan remarks. Go and open up the OpenStreetMap. I can zoom in and see that this is the built-up area of Saya. That, know what I'm looking for. Name of the town is. Just double check the other bit. So there's a bend in the river here. Here we can see there's another airport here that I might be able to spot. So I could that. Again, bend in the river here. Another airport that I should be able to see here. I can just add extra bits to my flight planner max. Zoom out. Next thing, I'm going to add airspaces on. Naturally, somehow I've managed to skirt around this airspace, but it wouldn't be affecting us anyway. But if we wanted to select certain altitudes for these airspaces, there is a way to do that. Which one is it? There we go. So flight plan, cruise altitude, and that will only ever show us airspaces that affect us, our flight plan altitude. Let's zoom in here, you can see this one affects us. At this point, we contact them to let them know. Can have a look at, click on it. It says a Class D airspace. Technically, at this point, I need to contact this airspace and let them know that I'm flying through it briefly. So to do this, I will show you how to do that in the simulator. So yeah, there you go. One last thing before we wrap up is you can also get your wind barbs. Again, I can put wind barbs at flight plan cruise altitude. And reading these, I think it's every long bar is 10 knots and a short bar is 5 knots. And it is blowing this way. So if I hover over it, saying 30 knots at 3,500 feet, which are flight plan altitude, and it's 356 degrees, so it's kind of practically blowing straight from due north, but it will show that random intervals on the map. Zoom all the way out, you can see it'll show. You can read these. This is 25 knots, 25 knots, this is 35 knots, this is 15 knots, so big is 10, small is 5, and it's blowing from where the barbs are to the point. There we go, we've got a flight plan. Next video I will show me flying this and go through the setup and how to do that. So I will see you in that video, and I will speak to you in a bit.